Remote control toys are not my thing generally. I was interested in this project to see what was possible with 3D printing. The first part off the printer was the front tub. It's designed to be printed standing up with no support. Bamboo Labs X1 carbon. Multiple parts can be printed on each print bed. There are around 105 parts just in the body of this Jeep. Some of them I've printed in black PLA and the main body in blue PLA. Before long you need some screws to start putting bits and pieces together. There's no glue required. There's around 400 M2 and M3 screws. The suspension links have integrated ball joint rod ends. I printed the driveline components in grey PLA. There's a lot of intricate detail in those components. The Jeep is four-wheel drive with highly articulated axles. The model uses metal axles, crown wheels and pinions, and drive shafts. The whole drivetrain runs smoothly on 19 miniature ball races. It is powered by a powerful brushless AC drone motor. All the non-printed parts are available readily for commercial models. Axles, for example, suit 1/10 scale vehicles off the shelf. Each wheel is comprised of 5 separate printed components. I printed the seats with a grey sparkle PLA. The shock absorbers arrived, but one of them was too short. There was also an issue with a battery charger, but both issues were resolved. There was a delay getting the battery, so I spent the time adapting a Makita battery to power the system. The electronic speed control would handle 3S, so I dialed up a 3S voltage of 10.5. With the ECS, the motor, the receiver, and the steering servo connected, it was all ready for a test run. The 2S Shorty battery eventually arrived. Motor connections under the bonnet were organised. The battery tucks away in a convenient location on the bed of the ute.
This isn't my birthday present, it's a 3D printed model truck that I've been working on for nearly 2 months. It's got the battery in the back there, it's radio control. When that's plugged in, it turns on, and this is the remote control for it. And it'll go. Went backwards and forwards a bit too far in. That's the steering on it. It's got some fancy suspension underneath.
So you don't crash it, that's the rule.
What? Can I show you my car?
There's a big list of screws you need to order, all different sizes. A set of axles, the front ones having universal joints. The crown wheel and pinion ratio is 8:33. There's a variety of miniature ball races in both the axles and the transmission. The rubber tyres are great. The all-metal shocks can be oil-filled. The 30 amp ECS just worked with default parameters. The 1100 kV motor was cheap. The 2S LiPo battery was a 5000 amp hour. XT60 connectors needed some silicon cable and soldered in some circumstances. I ordered a 7-channel transmitter and receiver, bit of an overkill. The first battery charger I received was faulty, but I got another one. 2 telescopic drive shafts are required for the project. The transmission requires you making up the internal studding with stainless steel shaft. A metal flange is required in the transfer case. 4 timing belts run on 3D printed notched pulleys. The front axle kingpins are supported on tiny thrust bearings. Nylock nuts are required. I also purchased some cheap screwdrivers and a set of flush cutters. Most of the assembly was done on the kitchen table, so it's not really a shed project, but get out to your shed and have some fun anyway.